Introduction of Egypt. Do you know ancient Egypt civilization has been lasted for more than 3000 years so far and showed an immense continuity that is more than 15 times stronger of the United States, and consider how often our culture shifts. Less than 10 years ago, the time there was no Facebook, Twitter or YouTube or any other kind of social media. The Pharaoh is not just a king. Kings in Egypt were often considered complex intermediaries that straddled the terrestrial and divine realms. They were obviously living human, as some people think they are not human beings, but upon accession to the throne they also do some certain embodied the eternal office of kingship itself. This is something that make Egypt different. The car of or spirit of kingship was often depicted as a separate entity standing just after the human ruler. Seems interesting. This divine aspect of the office of kingship was what gave the authority to the human ruler to rule over the kingdom. The living king was associated with the god Horus, the powerful falcon-heeled god who was believed to best show the throne to the first human king. Often people think that they are not alive, but in fact they are alive. Consistency and stability, one of the major factor. Egypt's stability is in stark contrast to the ancient Near East or of the same period, which has endured or tolerated an overlapping series of culture and upheavals with amazing regularity. It makes Egypt really interesting. The earliest royal monuments, such as Narmer plate carved around 3100 BCE, shows identical royal customs or rules and poses as those seen on later rulers. A great amount of Egyptian imagery, especially royal imagery that were governed by decorum, a sense of what was appropriate. You know, Egypt is full of mystery. If you start digging history, you'll find more. Every time remained stupefyingly consistent throughout its history. This is why, especially to the untrained eye, their art appear extremely static. And in terms of symbol, gesture, and the way the body is rendered, it was a international. The Egyptians were aware of their consistency, which they viewed as stability, divine balance, and clear evidence of the correctness of their culture. Geography. Egypt is a land of surprises, duality, and cycle, and full of surprises both in topography and culture. The geography is almost entirely rugged, deserted area except for an explosion of green area that straddled either side of the Nile as it flowed the full length of the country. The river in Egypt emerges from far to the south, deep part in Africa, and empties into the Mediterranean Sea in the north after spreading from a single channel into a fan-shaped system known as delta that makes Egypt a wonderful place and its northernmost section. Thank you. If you like the video, kindly subscribe the channel. Thank you.